Hey guys, I am back. I don't know what that wave was, but hola. I am back. And I have kind of like a chit chat story time video for you guys. In a few of my videos, you guys have commented and kind of asked for me to talk more about my dating life and dating as a plus size person and just things like that. And so I'm going to kind of touch on that issue in this video, but also this is just kind of a story time video because I'm a little shook. I'm a little like, what the fuck? And I just figured I can share with you guys and kind of rant, and it is entertainment to you guys and it kind of gets it off my chest. So this video is titled All Men Are Dogs, and if you guys want to see where I got that inspiration from, that was like the SpongeBob thing where he's like, imagination. This is gonna be a good video, guys. Anyways, if you want to see where I got the inspiration from that, you guys can check out my Instagram, which is the same exact username as my YouTube channel. So you guys can check that out. But I have like a few posts ago, I posted a picture with this guy and I commented, or I made the caption on it, all men are dogs. And at that time, it was kind of like a joke type thing, but now it is the truest shit of all 2017. So I have a Tinder, which I feel like a lot of people have nowadays. It's not something uncommon for people to have Tinder for whatever reason you have it for. If you're looking to meet people as friends or go on dates or hookups or whatever, it's just something that a lot of people have. So I have a Tinder, and of course I'm active on it, and I met this guy on Tinder, and of course, like, people, you assume that people that you meet on Tinder aren't going to be legit, they're not going to be super nice, but I found the opposite with a few different people. So I met him on Tinder, and he was in the vicinity of me, obviously, because he wouldn't have popped up on my Tinder, and we talked for like a few weeks, and then he told me that he was actually in my area because he was here for job training, and he actually was from a city in Massachusetts, and I live in New York. So I was like, what are you doing? New York State, not New York City. A lot of people think if you say you're from New York, they automatically assume New York City, but I'm from New York State. So I was like, why are you like here? And he told me that he was there for job training, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. And this was before Thanksgiving, and so then he had gone home for Thanksgiving, and I had gone home to Thanksgiving and things like that, and we weren't in the vicinity of each other. And like when we were first talking, like I kind of was blowing him off a lot. Like he would send me Snapchats and I would open them and not respond, and he would text me and I would just like read it and not respond, and for like no particular reason, I just feel like I wasn't feeling him at that moment. So all of Thanksgiving break, I really just, not that I had nothing to do with him, but I just wasn't super interested. And then I went back to school, and he came back for the last part of his training, and we like totally hit it off. And he was there for 2-ish weeks, and he came to my dorm room and we hung out a ton, and he slept over, and I went to his hotel room and we hung out a ton there, and I slept over there, and we had dinner, and I introduced him to all my friends. And like at one point I had like this whole, that was a weird sniffle. At one point I had this like whole dinner with him and my friends and my roommates, and we just had like a great time, and I met his friends that he was on this like trip with, this like training trip for his job. So it was like a legit thing, and like we were talking about what we would do once he went back home to Massachusetts, because honestly, like, we were really digging each other, and it was like one of those things where it's like what do you do? Like, if you really have feelings for somebody, you just like let them go because they live far away. So we were like talking about it, and basically he was like, you're the one that got away. Like, he said this to me. He's like, because honestly, like, I don't feel a long distance relationship, and I don't necessarily feel like that's a good idea, especially holding you back from meeting people, because like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was talking to other people still, and I have connections with other people and like people that I was interested in still. And so had him and I started dating, I would have like obviously cut that off, but we weren't a thing, we weren't exclusive. So he said it was unfair to me, and I felt it was also unfair to him to go back home and have all these girls that he also was like interested in at home, and just kind of cut it off because of a girl that lives thousands of miles away, or hundreds, I don't think it's thousands. So yeah, we kind of just agreed on that, and he left, and it was sad, and we were in communication for like weeks and weeks, and then a few weeks ago, so it is now like end of January, a few weeks ago, my friend who had a similar situation, she was dating a guy from her college who actually was from North Carolina. So he was like, he went to school in New York, but was from North Carolina, and they were dating, and he had gone home for winter break. And basically he ended it with her very suddenly. And he was like, if I just don't respond to you one day, you have to understand. And so I was on FaceTime with the guy I was talking to, and I kind of explained that situation to him, and I was like, that's so stupid, like that's so disrespectful, like I just feel like I can't believe that if you were into somebody and they were actually dating, my friend and her guy, they're actually dating, if you're like into somebody like that, like how you can just say that to them and just drop them. And he was like agreeing with me. He's like, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, he joked, he's like, Sarah, if I don't respond to you one day, like you're gonna have to understand what that means. And he was a very jokey person, so at that moment I took it as a joke, which girl, it was not a joke. Not at all. So yeah, and we were on FaceTime and we were talking about that, and we were talking about other things, and then he had an interview the next day for a different job, which it's a whole nother story. I don't know why you would do training for like 4 weeks for one job and then quit it. And anyway, so he had an interview for another job the next day, and like we picked out what he would wear and like his outfit and his tie and just like everything like that. He was babysitting his friend's cat, and like I saw the cat and we were talking about the cat, and just so many like just like our normal conversations. Like when I tell you, we talked every day, we kept in touch. He was planning on buying me a ticket to go visit him to where he lived once I got back to school. I mean, it was like a legit thing. Like, I really thought that this could become something. I mean, it wasn't nothing. And that's the part that bothers me, is it wasn't nothing. It was something. I don't know, like, how extreme it was supposed to get, or, like, I obviously can't see in the future and see how serious that it was supposed to get, but it was something. It wasn't nothing. So that's why I'm just so, like, shook about the whole situation. So we were on FaceTime that night. I told him about the whole situation with my friend and her boyfriend, and we were just having a normal conversation. Everything like that was fine. And then I hang up with him, and I said, good night, good luck on your interview, send me a picture of what you're wearing, because I wanted to see him like actually like fully wearing it, whatever. The next day I message him at 9 a.m. and I'm like, how was your interview? No response. Literally no response. Read, but no response. And I'm like, okay, maybe it didn't go well. He doesn't want to talk about it. Like, I don't really know. So I waited until like 3 p.m., which for me is a long time. Like, I feel like that's like hours. Like, for me, that's like, if you're not going to respond to me at 9 a.m., like hours later, you should be done with what you're doing, or at least be in a better state of mind to respond if things didn't go well. And I said, are you just not going to respond to me? Like, how was your interview? And no response. And I was like, this is weird as fuck. Then later that night at like 9 or 10 p.m., he messages me, yo, just yo. And I'm like, hey, is everything okay? Like, you weren't responding to me, and I just wanted to make sure your interview went well. Like, if it didn't go well, we don't have to talk about it, whatever. Read it, no response. I waited a few days, sent him Snapchats, texted him again, is everything okay? No response. Literally just no response. And I'm like, what the fuck? Literally, what the fuck? So I waited like a week and a half, and I was fucking pissed. And my friends were too, because they were like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? Like, everything was going so well, and we had like bonded and like created a friendship, and like it was to the point where he was talking to my friend Cassidy, like they were texting and they called each other best friends because they made fun of me and how I would say the word 100. Like, it was something like that. And I just don't understand what went wrong. And literally I texted him, I was like, if this is a joke about the whole situation between my friend and her boyfriend, the whole like joke, so I was like, the joke's over. Like, if you're just not gonna respond to me one day, if that's what this joke is supposed to be, it's over. It's not funny anymore. Never responded. And then I go on Facebook, he blocked me on Facebook. He never followed me on Instagram, but like, it's just mad weird. Like, I just don't understand. And like, looking back, I feel like I should have seen this happening, because I mean, I'm not crazy. Like, a long distance relationship wasn't like something that was supposed to happen, but like, I just feel like even if we had just talked, like we had talked every day, even if we just kept up that relationship, just talking every day and being like, how was your day today? How was work? How are your roommates? Just things like that. I mean, it's just really, really strange. And, I just feel like I should have known, because like while we were talking, he like used to tell me, like looking back I see these things, but like while they were happening I like put no weight on it, like no emphasis on it. But like looking back, like he used to tell me like I get he's like, I get bored of girls sometimes. And like, we just were talking about past relationships. And he's like, I get bored of girls sometimes. And I was like, don't get bored of me, like as a joke, like all these different things. And like, he would show me pictures of girls he used to talk to. And he's like, you're way prettier than them. And in my head, I'm like, these girls are gorgeous. Like, they are really gorgeous. And you can think that I'm prettier than them all you want. Like, that's personal opinion, but I feel like that's not true. And like, I tagged him on something on Facebook once. And he's like, oh, because of that thing you tagged me in, like 3 girls I used to talk to hit me up and were like, oh, who's this girl that's tagging on Facebook? And he's like, I just didn't respond to them. And I was like, to me at that moment, it was kind of like he was showing commitment to me, but clearly it was just him being an asshole to these girls. Like, he is being an asshole to me now. And just all these different things where he would just talk about how he doesn't talk to these girls anymore. And like, there's a lot of girls that he would show me pictures of. And I mean, I could name so many of these girls, and like, it's just really, really weird. And I don't know how to explain it. And like, everything with him just like checked out and it was perfect. And like, I just can't, and I really like pictured like the relationship flourishing.
Flirting. I really could imagine the relationship flourishing again here with the fucking imagination hands.
But yeah, I have not heard from him in over a few weeks, and we are not in communication. And on New Year's Eve, I sent him a Snapchat, and I was like drunk. I sent him a Snapchat, and his name kind of rhymes with Armani. So my friend was talking about Giorgio Armani, and I was like, in the Snapchat, I was like, Giorgio Armani? Don't you mean Giorgio, his name? And I sent it to him, and he's like, oh my god, I opened that up at the party I was at, and everybody thought it was so funny. They thought you were so cute. And I was like, oh, thanks. So it's just like so weird that like literally a week after that was when this all happened. And it's like, if he's introducing him to me to his friends, which he did even in person, and I'm introducing him to my friends, it's just very, very, very strange. And then he said even at that party, or no, something about New Year's Eve. Oh, something on New Year's Eve, he said like a bunch of girls he used to talk to messaged him and were like, Happy New Year, we haven't talked in a while. And he's like, I'm bored of these girls. Like, I'm not messaging them anymore. And to me, like I said, at the time, it made me feel like I was special and kind of like I was the person he wanted to be talking to in that moment. But clearly I was wrong. So that is my story about how all men are dogs. It was like the realest relationship, or like soon to be relationship I've been in a while, since I broke up with my ex last May. So it just, I guess maybe just fucked with me a little bit, but like, tell me your advice. Tell me your opinion on the story. Tell me your advice. Let me know what you guys think. What could have happened? I have no idea. And before any of you guys say anything, of course, me and him, like, we made out and stuff like that when we were together, but I never had sex with him. So it wasn't one of those things where it was like fucking leave type thing. Like, I never had sex with him, despite the fact of like him sleeping over and like us making out and things like that. So I feel like that wasn't it either, because my friends were like, maybe he just like wanted to fuck you and like use you. And I'm like, I feel like that's not it, because that never happened. Literally never happened. So anyways, I'm like playing with this hat that I have here. Anyways, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know if you like these types of videos, if you guys want to know more, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.